Hey guys, Paul here with what I think is an end of the month treat. I'm going to do another reading from artist and writer Moiret Allegiere. Link to his blog below. Great place to go visit if you like good art and a good read. Anyway, this particular piece I enjoyed very much. It's called Totalitarian Tango. The street lamps shine with umbrage while permanently offended sidewalks creak and croak. Left foot, left foot, left foot, march. A voice through smashed windows beckons. The weird and wired click-clack of jackboot stilettos echoes through the dim night as we are made to dance in pairs to the fright bat tunes of the totalitarian tango. Our civilization is turning to dust in one fleeting fall from grace, engineered by ideologues with self-spun halos round their moon-faced grins, made from cotton-picked enslaved plantations by men with necks bent under the weight of someone else's projected thoughts. Here we go, picking cotton, picking a bit of cotton, listening to the mind-boggling screech of the totalitarian tango. As history comes full circle and we come to ourselves, we ought to reclaim what values we once had. We ought to value these grand memories, our building blocks, our beautiful ethics. We think as we watch our values and our virtues and our moral integrity get rolled in the bog and labeled unclean, unfit for human consumption, that progression for the sake of regression is a grand stroke of divine inspiration, that it is a virtue equal to none, a virtue in and of itself, impossible to criticize, as we ourselves roll around in the filth, naked, whipped, and bleeding, glancing at the icy rhythm of the totalitarian tango. No matter the mind, and never mind the matter. No matter the saying, never mind the truth. In the glorious present of the stunning utopia, this call is not ours to call. Our phones have been left off the hook indefinite, and we are hung on the hook infinitely, guilty by association, guilty of thinking what this new breed of cry-bully authoritarians believe that we think. You think like this, you see, due to balls and white skin and normative sexuality. And don't you forget it, you lowly bro, you pathetic inbred neckbeard basement dweller, you hideous ogre, you. And miracles of miracle berries, they sign documented outpatients away, for to sing and then to dance and henceforth to bleed, to singe, and to glance and to breathe in the six-string shooter ballads of the totalitarian tango. Our five-finger dance is oppressive. Monkey see, monkey do. Our superior aristocracy, the new victim class, are working towards denying us our right to speak and assemble, under the pretense of them being victims of this'n his'n and other such mumbo-jumbo. In the topsy-turvy world of upside-down land which these parasites inhabit, the powers that be deny us our opinions, our voices, and our pain. 'Cause it offends, see? An offense is the worst, see? In our mouths they put their own bigotry, their own hatred, and their own in-group preference, reasoning thusly. We think like this about them, therefore they must think like this about us. A hive mind vacuum, an echo chamber nourished by eternal intellectual blockades, a shot of black tar heroin delivered straight into eyeballs, dry and crusty that tears the parchment from the walls. It calls us out to pray. The earth molds us from the clay. The wind beckons us to play. We hear the sunshine turn the night to day. We should revolt. We submit instead, lest we be shamed yet again. Alone we stand, audited, glanced at, then dismissed, fodder for the cannons, food for the vultures, spat in the face, more broken men in line to do the totalitarian tango. Do my eyes deceive me? I see a Bosch sketch of a society yet to come, gigantic hellscapes rising from the pineal gland, a fleeting whisper from ruby-red lips cracking into a blood-stained smile, painted then tainted by mad, frenzied eyes, stung with crazy lies, with tongue-tied chants, full of words and temper, signifying nothing. 18 more strokes of the clock, 7 days to reach the Glock, a beckoning to grab the golden cock as we march along to the beats of the drum, the beats of the hur-dur, a recently legalized, nationwide, socially and state-sanctioned hatred, unaltered, unopposed. We are living in a total conversion mod of Western society, see? A totalitarian farce, depraved and decadent, a lonely lunatic's nightmare timeline, the totalitarian tango. And we ought to be hanging from the piss-yellow light of the street lamps come midnight's eternal, roaring with laughter and howling at the slut-walk moon, at all the weird shit going down. We ought not to be listening to this absurdity. We should not yield to their ridiculous demands, the feminist hive mind speaking the language of the social justice intersectional rumba. Yet we yield, and yet we cater to their every whim and flight of fancy, and yet we bend over backwards, then conform to their every nonsensical demand. The decades of shaming has reached peak efficiency, the male-bashing near its climax, orgasmic screams of the orgasmic divine, woman good, men bad, in the language which greets us at the feminist intersection of reason and madness. Men are disposable. Women are aristocracy. We should not dance. Leave the hive mind to their fainting couches and smelling salts. We should not dance. And yet we do, step by step, beat by beat, the totalitarian tango. Here we see the streams of time follow the flow of hate with a call to arms raised in banners of fluctuating solidarity. Our politics have become absurdist theaters. Our absurdist theaters have become politics. Here come the politically correct lynch mobs. Watch them gather in the streets chasing down the witches and the heretics, the wrong thinkers, the thought crime aficionados, whilst vomiting a stream of consciousness nonsense from lips painted the color of hate, regurgitating what they've been taught to say. Tango fodder, do-gooder, moral busybodies watching what their neighbors do with binocular efficiency and then insisting that their neighbors are watching what they do instead. Deny and reverse victim order in the diamond light of the totalitarian tango. Snow White was raped, and so was Cinderella. Prince Charming is a construct, a dominant male power fantasy. The damsel in distress trope is misogyny extreme, yet he for she and help us men. In a society wherein everything is a social construct, gender in particular, there seems to be an extreme amount of focus on the faults of one gender and the glory of the other. By biology, say they, when the biological findings confirm their narrative structure, a narrative structure as fleeting as the warm smell of rotten eggs, even as they claim gender is a social construct. Don't worry, mate. Big Sister got more than enough mental gymnastics rolling the rounds of the totalitarian tango. Never you mind and never you worry, buddy boy. Our claws will not remove your cock, or leastways parts of it, yet we may have to take your balls away. It is the testosterone, you see, which is the problem, see? And testosterone is made manifest in cum stains galore all across the face of Mother Earth. Testosterone is a burden, a murder weapon, a tool of the oppressive patriarchy. Even if we also tell you that your masculinity is a social construct and nothing but, there is still testosterone poisoning. We are all doublethink and wondrous laughs as we prance and shoot our way through the grandiosity of the totalitarian tango. Listen and believe to the harbingers of doom and gloom as the dust settles on the emotionless, wildly staring eyeballs of these sultry goddess queens, as dead and dying silver streams have come from silver-backed gorillas worth more than you, flows like a river from the cheeks of society's past. Let me hear you laugh, young boy, and chant along with the wave we are riding, the wave towards our ingenious yet indescribably horrible freedom. Freedom from offense. Sew cushions and pillows underneath our arms so that we never have to experience anything even remotely resembling difficulty. Do not deny us our personhood by merely stating disagreements. Do our dance. Tick-tock along with the jackboot stilettos. Do not offend, dear. Do not offend. Also, dare not take offense to the hatred we spew as we dance and weave and whine the totalitarian tango. The night is ours, a proclamation. We are taking it back, a glorious calculation. Give the men a curfew. Keep 'em all locked away in musty basements. Take away their hobbies and destroy all their spaces. Deny the men their fun and their fancies, and let us sit and spin our cotton-wined halos round our nimble figureheads as we feast on the blood of the weak this week. Oh God, what a grandiose performance! Oh my, how incredibly brave and courageous and strong this perpetual victim is. Do not raise your voice. Feminism is for men too. They are watering our beers with crocodile tears as we accept and reform and reject everything but the totalitarian tango. And Moses spreads his cheeks and God spreads his lips, and the evening spreads itself thin over the hurt and the pain as the lipstick-polished nails sing hymns of salvation. Glory be, glory do, boo-fucking-who. Jane smacks Jack for spreading his legs when he sits. Nothing but bright light and glazed eyes. Nothing but twisted truths and pregnant lies waiting to burst as we see decadence perform fellatio on the erect notes of the totalitarian tango. What we see in the horizon, what rises from the streets, what comes crawling from the prehistoric ooze is the complete control and domination of our thoughts and our speech. Our freedoms are being stolen by the social justice hive mind, a beast of biblical prophecies brought forth, a glance into the past, Victorian morals posing as progressive push forward, a furthering of the women are wonderful effect. Men are the beast, women are the gods. Men do all wrong all the time. Women do no wrong all the time. In the air, a whisper spreads. Fare thee well, equality. Enter now the totalitarian tango.